What are inputs? Well, if you can get a vision of an electrical plug going into an outlet, that's an input into an outlet. Our inputs are what we receive here in the mind, what we receive through our eyes, through our sense of smell, through our ears, and our output or our outlet is what we speak. I did a whole series of talks on inputs and how to control your inputs, but I want to define for you today, just in a short lesson here, what inputs are. Inputs is everything we receive, like I just said, visually, audio, whether you're speaking it or you're hearing it from others, or your associations are inputs as well. And all the data, all the things that we collect into our mind are inputs. And what we do with them is our outputs. So you got to make sure that your inputs at least have self-awareness on it. You may not have the best inputs in the world, and maybe you recognize it and you're working to change that. But just be keenly aware that everything in our life, the sum total of who we are, is based on inputs. There are some natural tendencies that people have as far as it goes in emotional and temperament, you know, how they're hardwired to think and how they're maybe hardwired or predispositioned to feel emotion. But those things are triggered by inputs, and they really, really are important to us. So understand what inputs are. They're associations, they're things you see, they're things you hear, and they're things that you read. Now, how many inputs do you have in your life? No exaggeration. I bet you have 30 to 100 every day. You can just name the 5 top social media outlets, and they're sending you inputs every day that are either video, audio, or written. You can talk about your computer system, your laptop, your email, your iPhones, your Androids, and they're all sending you inputs every day from multiple sources. And each one of these sources is trying to get you in one of those ways: sight, sound, or the written word. So take captive of your inputs, control them. Do you really need those 30 to 100 inputs a day? And here's one of my favorite inputs. Not really, I'm being sarcastic, but this is a pet peeve. People want to get it off their plate, whatever it is. So they create an input for me. And let's say they send me an email, and maybe I don't respond to it right away. Then they send me a voicemail, and maybe I don't respond to that right away. And then they send me a text. And then they start the process all over again, driving a response until I respond to them. So even though it's one message, I've gotten 3, 6, or 9 inputs on that same message from the same person. It's like, really? Why do I have to answer it right now? Why is there such a sense of urgency? And I agree there could be some inputs that you have to respond to with a sense of urgency, but for the most part, come on. You know, we're really just not that important, right? And our agenda is not that important, but we want to get it off our plate. So we create an input for somebody else. Now, my pet peeve is a 2-minute voicemail as well. If I do call and leave you a voicemail, it'll never be over 2 minutes. I can say anything and everything I need to say clearly, concisely, to the point in about 2 minutes. When people drone on voicemail, it's just inconsiderate. Those are inputs we really don't need, and half the time they lose us when we're listening to a really long voicemail. And when you send an email, you know all the courteous applications and the proper etiquette of email. You know, you don't use language you find in Webster's. You communicate concisely and quickly. You know, you don't write long letters. If it's a letter, you make an attachment and attach it to an email. You know, help clean up your life by leading in an example of how input should be used in the world. And maybe others will do the same for you. Or how about this one? You ever get a text message input that's like 4 pages long? And you're like, really? This is an IM deal. I'm supposed to respond to this pretty quickly. Well, most of us have our IM on all the time, and our voicemail and our email, and everything is right there in front of us, plus all the alerts. And I'll tell you a little trick I learned to control my inputs. My phone goes on at 9 a.m. That's my main source of input, and it goes off at 7 p.m. I control that. I don't need all that stuff in my mind. So that's a little lesson on inputs and what they are and how they kind of affect our lives. And not only do we receive them, but we give them out. So make sure the inputs that you're giving to others are kind and courteous. Make sure that they follow some etiquette. And never be afraid to just pick up the phone and call somebody. You know, I know it's so easy today to just send a text that's off your plate and somebody will get back to you. But there's no replacement for hearing emotion through the phone or emotion face to face. You'll never hear the dialect of emotion on an email or a text. You just won't. Pick up the phone, give somebody a call, and interact with another human being. That is a highly recommended input. Hi everybody, it's Mark. If you enjoyed that video lesson, I have 3 things that you can do right now to continue your journey at E5 Leader. First of all, you can sign up for this channel. That way I can deliver weekly video lessons to you that'll transform your life. Secondly, you can go to e5leader.com. where I have a bunch more free training videos, newsletters, blogs, all kinds of great information on the secrets to leadership lessons that have transformed the top leaders in this country. In addition to that, I'll share with you upcoming events and live events that we're doing, and you can check us out on other social media networks as well. And the last thing, you can buy the new book. It's available online. It's E5 Leader. That's the name of the book. And what it is success tools to help you maximize your potential and to create equilibrium in your life. Thanks for being here. It's great to be with you. I look forward to meeting you at a live event. And as I always say, go and grow as an E5 leader and never let anyone steal your dream. God bless you. I'll see you soon.